Okay. I think it's around 7. It's around 7 p.m. So maybe I'll just start asking you some lovely questions. Well, I guess I could introduce myself and you. Yeah. So hi everybody. My name is Angel. I am the Study Abroad Coordinator at the Office of Global Affairs at UW Tacoma. I'm joined today with Augie. Augie, do you mind introducing
Yeah,
yourself?
I'm Augie Machine. Been teaching Spanish at UW Tacoma since 2005, and as part of that, I've taken several study abroad trips. We did several to Mexico over the years. I've been doing that since 2005 as well. So we did several to Mexico, a few to Ecuador, and now we're doing. This will be the second time that we go to Peru.
Awesome. Lovely. I did not know about the programs to Mexico, so that's really cool actually to find that out. Oh, well, lovely. Well, I guess I'll just ask you one of the first questions that I have, and then if students do have questions, please feel free to share them. Hopefully, we can see your questions, but I think we do have that capability. So if you do have questions, just let us know. But in the meantime, I guess I'll just ask you a few questions, Augie. What are you most excited for students to experience in Peru?
This is a great question. One of the reasons why we can choose where we want to go, and the reason why I chose Cusco is because it's not like any other place that I've ever been
Hmm.
to. Uh, so it's this really unique experience, and everybody's heard of Machu Picchu, of course, it's world famous. But what people might not know is that there are 5 or 10 other archaeological sites like that are just as impressive and just as amazing. They're just not as well known. So, incredible place to see and explore and see all of this history. The food is amazing there, and unlike any other place that I've been to, for example, guinea pig is a food crop in Peru, and especially in the Andes and the mountains with the Incan history. So, you know, something like that you'll be able to try if you're interested in. um,
Absolutely, yeah.
uh, it just like that's one example of lots of new experiences that you can have there. The people are amazing, and I think for me, the thing that I'm most excited about is the vast improvement that everybody will get in their Spanish in this really short period of time because there's just nothing like an immersion experience to improve your fluency. And so while you're experiencing this incredible place, you are also making amazing strides in your fluency.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that's one of the most exciting things about going abroad, just to any country in the world. You get to really experience it yourself, right? To see those different sites that maybe aren't, published on articles online endlessly or posted about. You get to see a different side of the world, right? That maybe somebody who hasn't been there quite doesn't really get to see. So that's a really cool thing to share. And
Yep.
again, this is a 5 week program,
Correct.
correct? Yes, yeah.
5 weeks.
So a 5 week program, and students will get 12 credits for this program, correct?
Full credit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
awesome. And so that means it makes it eligible for financial aid. So if students are sort of worried about how they can afford this program, if you're a student who receives financial aid, because this is a full-time program, it's eligible for financial aid, which is a really cool thing and pretty unique, I think, to the program, like your program as well, and then just a lot of the UW Tacoma programs. You get a lot of bang for your buck. 5 weeks and 12 credits. That's a lot. That's a lot for that short amount of time. Well, I guess on that similar sort of train of thought, what is the coursework like compared to UWT courses?
I was just going to jump
Oh,
in
yeah,
on
yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
or two that with the 5 week program and what you were talking about experiencing the place, like a study abroad is different than just traveling somewhere where you're a tourist, and you kind of see the touristing things. This is a opportunity to be a local, more or less, for in this kind of microcosm sort of way. But so it's a different experience than traveling. and it's really amazing. You asked about the coursework.
Yes.
That's where the part of the Spanish comes in, is that it's 5 hours a day, 5 days a week of Spanish classes at whatever level you're at. So if you're a beginner, you don't have to have any prior Spanish, but if you do, you know a little bit of Spanish or whatever, you'll be in that beginner section. Um, and then we have an intermediate section and an advanced section as well. And that's broken up with breaks and uh, tours around the city and visits to museums and visits to the market to practice food vocabulary. For example, you can go buy some fruit down the street. So it's not just sitting in a class for 5 hours getting a lecture. Um, and so that's the schedule, and that's part of the reason why your Spanish makes this such big improvement over this short period of time, because it's so focused and so intense.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. That's wonderful. And so students will they be taking these courses at like a local university there, like for like the sit down sort of portions of the class, or
We partner with a language school,
okay.
so but it's an accredited language school that its focus is on principally teaching study abroad students.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's really wonderful. Okay, yeah. I know it's really, I always get so jealous when I look at these programs and I wish I could join them as, because I had taken Spanish, growing up, and it was something that never quite stuck with me, right? Because I didn't have that immersion, right? I didn't have this chance to like practice it at every point or everywhere I turned, right? And I didn't have this, the world around me wasn't quite, it slowly is now, yeah, being immersed in Spanish, but it's a different experience abroad. And being able, especially when you're learning a language, to immerse yourself completely in that language, I think it's really really cool. But yes, and then so the next question I had for you, because I don't believe I see any questions yet from students, so I'll just kind of keep asking you a few more questions. Where do students live while abroad? This is really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, the focus of this program is improving your Spanish, right? We try to make the experience like amazing by picking this really cool place to do it in, but the underlying focus is always about Spanish. So you have those classes, but then we also the students do homestays with Peruvian families, and those families are part of the school's network, and there's a whole vetting process as to how they get approved to do that. But again, that gives you a chance to, like I was saying before, not be a tourist, but actually live like a local, live like a person of the community, a member of the community, and also you get to practice your Spanish with your host family. It's part of that immersion experience. So all the things that you're working on in class during the day, all that like grammar and everything else, you get to actually see how it functions in a family. And they're regular families living their lives, and they're just hosting you for the time being. So often, you get invited to their cousin's wedding or their son's birthday party or whatever the case may be. So again, you get this experience of being a part of the community rather than just visiting the place.
Oh, that's so awesome, Augie. Yeah, I know yeah, I kind of slipped my mind to that aspect of staying with the host family. You get to be part of their daily life, right? And you get to join in. Oh, and I think we actually have a couple of questions. Oh, yes, we can answer this quick question too. That's a little bit related. Is there a proficiency exam people take before the classes to determine the difficulty of the language class
Uh,
or course? Yeah.
Again, we have classes for anybody, so there's no requirement for any particular level of Spanish. And we can either figure out which class you're going to be in through the placement exam that we have, the normal placement exam that we place students in classes on campus, or through coursework, previous coursework,
Hmm.
or just by an interview. We can talk about it and see what level you're at. And so everybody will be in either the beginning class, the intermediate class, and those are focused on language. And then if you are maybe a heritage speaker or a native speaker, you'd be in the advanced class, and those are culture classes just like you would take here on campus.
Awesome. Okay. Okay. Wonderful. So yeah, so this program is really designed for students really at any sort of language level, anywhere they are at in their speaking, in their Spanish speaking skills.
Right.
Awesome.
So it's really good for, obviously for majors and
Mm-hmm.
minors that have a career regarding language, but also for, anybody like a nursing student or in um, like social work or something like that, where just some fluency would be really helpful in your career. This is a really good way to get good in a very short period of time.
Absolutely. Lovely. We also have another question too from that same student about the host families. Are there multiple students under the same family or just one student for each family? That's a great question, actually.
Um, Usually we do double occupancy,
Okay.
and depending on the situation and depending on the student, students get to fill out a preference sheet. Sometimes they get individual rooms and they share a bathroom. Sometimes they're sharing a room. It depends on what the students are comfortable with. Sometimes they have friends that they want to go with, and we
Mm-hmm.
get together and they're being roommates or whatever. So we're really flexible on that and try and make that a good part of the experience as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, thank you, Augie, and thank you so much for that student Max that question. Those were fantastic. Yeah. Okay, we got a couple more minutes here or so. So let's see. And the next question I just had for you was casually about what about free time? I know we talked a little bit about kind of the schedule that students can expect, living with host families. Do students have free time?
For sure, lots of free time. We expect you to be in class every day, but what you do after 5 hours every day is completely up to you. And of course, you have homework, um, but Cusco is a really walkable city, really reliable and frequent public transportation. Uber is available, of course, and taxis and everything else. Really reasonable rates for those, so you can get around really well, and you have lots of free time. Explore the city. There's lots of things to see. Cusco was built on what used to be the capital of the Incan Empire. So right there in Cusco, even within walking distance, there are archaeological sites to visit, museums, and of course, like restaurants and nightlife and things like that. The other thing about Cusco and in general with there's public spaces where people still gather, something that we don't have a lot in this country except for in like New York or something like that. But like the main square, the Plaza de Armas, is uh, full of at any time, day or night. Just like chatting with each other and also skateboarding and doing activities and kids playing and everything. So you can just go and sit and watch people and talk to people. And it just there's lots of things to do in your free time. In other words.
Absolutely. Yes. In fact, we actually, on our YouTube channel for Study Abroad, we have a day in the life video. So for students who are interested in just seeing what like a typical day will look like during your program, Brooklyn Jennings made a very lovely video for us where they filmed themselves throughout the day, what they were doing, what classes were like, and all that fun stuff. But yeah, yeah, but that's a fantastic, yeah, thanks, Augie, for sharing that. Oh, and there's also we have oh yeah, we have questions. Okay. A student asked, should we also get our own travel insurance, or is that something included with the program?
Um, the office can help you more with that, but
Hmm.
students have to have travel insurance for any study abroad program, and Angel, you might know better than I do about it's the, the university has a company that they
Yes.
go through, right, for that trip.
Yes. Yes. The UW does, yeah, absolutely correct. The UW does require students to all have study abroad insurance. So it's like $1 and some change a day for every day that you're abroad. And the UW will, when you sort of are applying to the program, you're accepted to the program in your sort of pre-departure orientation and all that material that comes after before you go abroad. We'll cover a little bit more too about like how to like where to find that kind of information too and what's covered and all that jazz. So yeah, that's definitely something that our office can help with, and before you go abroad will most likely be sorted too. But yeah, that's a great question. I know students sometimes have a lot of concerns around that because it's maybe a little bit new having to get travel insurance, but yeah, all UW students are required to purchase travel insurance before going abroad. So yes, absolutely. Okay, Augie, I guess I had planned this session to be actually fairly short, so I have just one more question for you if you have the time for it.
Absolutely, I'll stay as long as anybody wants to ask
Yeah,
questions.
absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, we have another question. Sorry. When we apply, when should we expect a confirmation notice that we are accepted into the program? Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a great question. Augie, I don't know if you want to share
Yeah,
or
that
do you want me to?
is
Okay.
the 31st of this month, and once we hit that deadline, then we'll start reviewing applications, and it happens fairly quickly. Um,
Yeah.
we are really interested in people that want to improve their Spanish, and if you can express that in your application, that's going to help you um, be accepted into the program. So I'm not saying that it's easy to get into, but uh, we want to we want to take people and give them this experience or help them have this experience. So um, that's the main idea.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yes. Yeah, typically it's around like 2 weeks or so that you may hear back from our office. And Augie's, absolutely right, where, if you can express sort of why this program, right, is so, why you've chosen this program, right? That's what I usually tell students in all the info sessions that I've been hosting. The application it's pretty straightforward, just like 3 short essays that we have you write, like a recommendation form that you do need to get from either somebody who knows you, like a professor or a work supervisor. Um, yeah, and just some personal information you have to fill, like your name and major and whatnot. The application itself is pretty straightforward, and yeah, kind of about the advice that Augie gave. That if you can express sort of why this program will help you and what you want to achieve from like your academics or your career or personal life, those are all fantastic things to sort of explore in your application, right? Oh, and then there's one more. Oh yeah, it's kind of this question is also has a very similar kind of sort of um, energy to it. It's I'm aware that some program faculty have an interview before acceptance. Is there something like that for this program?
Um, we have done those in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of on the fence about how useful they are. So you could have an interview, but again, and especially the Office of Study Abroad, like the whole purpose is to facilitate students going on study abroad, not to be gatekeepers for them. So if there is an interview, it's just to talk about how this is going to fit into your academic career. It's not, trying to like trip you up or trying to exclude
Mm-hmm.
people or something like that.
Absolutely.
The same thing with the application process in the first place. We want students to go on these programs. So if
Yeah.
that's we're going with that question, maybe worried about that or something like that. It's really just about finding people that are the right fit for the right program.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Our office really tries to make the entire application process accessible to students, because you're absolutely right, Augie, and I like the way you phrase that. We're not trying to keep you from going abroad or gatekeeping students, right? We really want students to go abroad and be a part of these experiences. And so, yeah, so, okay, so students can maybe expect an interview if that is something that feels needed in the process. Yeah, okay. Wonderful, Augie. Thank you, thank you. Okay, I don't think I see any more questions from students. I guess maybe I'll just ask you one last question and then we'll wrap up.
Okay.
This session is recorded though for students, so it should be up on our Instagram and then on Augie's program website as well. So on the Peru program website, we'll try to get this video up as well, just as a good reference for students too. Well, the last question I have for you, Augie, is what's one piece of advice you give to a student thinking about study abroad?
Uh, if you're thinking about study abroad, my advice is to do it. Like whatever program, whether it's this program or another program, um, I've never heard any student say that they regretted going on the study abroad, wherever it might be. Um, just getting that experience, expanding your worldview, seeing life from a different perspective is invaluable. And this time when you're in college is one of the few times that you'll be able to do that. Maybe the only time that you'll be able to do that, that you'll have this kind of opportunity in your life. So take advantage of it, and you absolutely will not regret it.
Wonderful advice, Augie. Oh, that's so good. Yes, it is absolutely. I think Courtney, who is my colleague here at the Office of Global Affairs, she always says whenever she does talk to people like peers and whatnot about study abroad, the biggest thing that people say is they wish they had done it, right? That they wish they had taken advantage of this opportunity when they did have it. So, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Just do it, please. Okay, Augie. Oh, I think we have one more question. Let's see. Do you still got time for this question, Augie?
I have plenty of
Awesome.
time.
Awesome. What if we are graduating soon? Could we still apply for this summer program?
Absolutely. And we've even had students that are graduated, not just graduating soon, but they graduated in the spring, they walked or whatever, and they still are able to go on the program. And, for a student like that, I always tell them, like, what a great gift to give yourself as a graduation present to have this experience. So, absolutely no problem. We've even taken students that uh, they finish and they want to come back and just get some really good Spanish practice in a short period of time. They already have a career, whatever they're working on, and they have some time in the summer. We can take those students as well. So we're thinking about it, and also the Office of Study Abroad. We want people to have these experiences again. So whatever we have to do to make that happen, we will help you with.
Yes, absolutely agree. Yes, yes, yes. So students, yeah, you can study abroad. A process too that a lot of students will do is they'll actually extend their graduation. So this is an option for a lot of students who are maybe graduating this upcoming spring. You can still graduate like kind of in the spring, so you'll be able to walk across the stage and do all the fun like graduation things. You just get your actual diploma at the end of your program. So once you've sort of successfully completed the program and passed your courses, that's when you'll get your diploma, like a few months after that date. But yeah, so students, that's an option as well. We always recommend you chat with your academic advisor if you need to. And then with any other remaining questions, you can always reach out to our office. But yeah, as Lucky said, yeah, please do it. Please do this program. We really just want students to do these and go abroad and be a part of these experiences, right? They're so invaluable and I think they're just unique as well, right? How many people can say they, like lived in Peru for 5 weeks, right? That's such a
Exactly.
unique thing that
Something
sort
that
of,
you'll
yeah,
tell stories about the rest of your life.
absolutely. Yes, 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 yes. Alrighty. Okay, well, thank you so much, Augie. I don't see any other questions coming from students. Was there any last minute things you wanted to add about the program or wanted to
Sure.
share with
Well, I just
students?
wanted to say that if anybody's interested and they want to talk to me some more, you can send me an email. My email is amachine, just like the word machine, a machine, Augie machine. Um, I have office hours on campus Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 12:30 to 1:30. You can drop in. My office is GWP 430. But either way, we can do Zoom or email or stop by my office if you have any more questions um, about anything. I'm happy to talk with you about it.
Absolutely, yes. And Augie's information is also listed on the program website as well for the Peru program. So if you are interested in finding his email, you can also find it on there as well. But yes, thank you, Augie. That's wonderful to know that you have office hours too, that students can just drop in and say hi to you and learn more. So that's wonderful. Okay, all right. Thank you all. Yes, yes, yeah. Thank you to all the students who joined in. Thank you again, Augie.
Adios.
Bye bye.